On May 22, 1992, seismographs recorded the strongest vibration. Then, scientists realized the readings were wrong. This was not an earthquake. It felt like a single deep pulse. A shock wave rose from under Denali. It did not come from the surface. Hours later, satellites picked up something odd. The image showed a perfect triangle. Edges were sharp and symmetry felt unnatural. The triangle sat below the mountain ice. No crater, wreckage, or blast marks appeared. Radios picked up strange delays in signals. Dogs refused to go near the ridge. Helicopter crews reported instruments behaving oddly. A government team arrived by nightfall. They sealed the valley and started scans. Images shifted when analysts zoomed in. One pass erased the triangle completely. The next pass brought it back. The pattern repeated over many tries. The data made no sense. Scientists argued quietly about sensors. Some said it was a glitch. Others guessed a secret test. The triangle stayed and the machines kept reading. Records show no explanation was ever confirmed. Files were classified for decades. Locals still tell the story. Hikers avoid that ridge today. The triangle is on maps as unknown. We still don't know what made it. Sometimes I think about those readings. The ground hummed for a little while. Then the world pretended nothing happened, but the triangle stayed under the ice. And maybe that's the real worry.
1 hour of silence wrapped all of Alaska. Radio operators logged a single low-frequency tone. It lasted roughly 60 minutes before ending suddenly. People across towns vomited and got sudden headaches. Electronics failed across the region. Many devices died. The noise itself felt physically wrong to operators. Then just as quickly, the tone stopped. There was no warning and no explanation. The military said they were not involved. Their statements felt flat to many listeners. But leaked radar logs told a different story. They showed fighter jets rushing to the coordinates. Pilots arrived while radios were still dead. No confirmed engagement was ever publicly reported. Years later, the recordings still circulate online. People replay the low hum and argue about cause. Some blame faulty equipment. Others suspect something else. No one can say for sure what happened. But everyone who heard it remembers the silence. Calls poured into small-town police stations at once. Night shift operators marked time as frozen on logs. One radio tech described the tone as physically painful. Hospital ERs reported headaches and dizziness that night. Commanders denied any scramble or engagement publicly. But internal memos later showed urgency and confusion. An off-duty pilot spoke to a reporter anonymously. He said jets were sent toward a silent blip. No one saw anything conventional in the sky. The recordings still give people goosebumps.
It was bigger than the Great Pyramid. David Shearer was the geologist who found it. He captured sonar data in a remote field site. One sweep showed a massive hollow with a square base. Angles matched 90 degrees almost perfectly. It lay buried under nearly a mile of rock. He notified authorities and expected follow-up within days. Instead, the press never saw the report. 3 days later, Shearer disappeared from his home. Neighbors said he left with a duffel bag. His equipment and the raw sonar files were gone. Others said they were pressured to drop it. No clear explanation ever followed. Some call it a mistake in measurement. Others whisper about deliberate cover-ups. But the sonar readout doesn't lie. It shows geometry that should not be there. A square base and sharp angles sat under rock. Experts who examined images asked hard questions. The lab that handled his files closed suddenly. People now debate whether it is natural. Either way, one man vanished right after. That alone should make us ask questions. Where did he go, and who took the files? They point to something huge and unknown. That's why this discovery still matters today. 1995 gave us one impossible object. A mining team found it near the anomaly. They pulled a shard from cracked bedrock. It was jet black and perfectly smooth. It felt heavier than it looked. Every scale they tried simply failed. Light hit it and disappeared. Cameras recorded nothing but a black hole. They tapped it with a hammer. The sound matched a 1992 blackout frequency. Researchers quietly named it black resonance. They kept samples under armed guard. Scientists argued about its origin for months. No model fit its density readings. No one could explain the tone. The note itself changed equipment. Oscilloscopes bent. Filters failed. Circuits fried. Audio logs dropped into flat silence. Then the tone returned on its own. It hummed beneath sleeping night shifts. Many people heard it miles away. Some reported headaches and lost time. One technician abruptly quit without explanation. Even nearby GPS coordinates shifted oddly. The site grew restricted and secretive. Local rumors turned into official warnings. One memo ordered silence across labs. Nobody outside the project got details. But a few audio clips leaked. They spread fast among radio hobbyists. People tried to recreate the frequency. Amateurs failed. So did top labs. It remained a puzzle and a hazard. The shard sat waiting for answers. We still don't know what it is. We call it the black metal. But names don't explain strange notes. They only make it easier to talk. The tone waits for someone to strike it again.
They arrived in less than a day. Men in dark suits and badges, they moved fast through the camp. They sealed off the shaft. They took the shard without arguing. Then they handed out gag orders. No phones, no talk, no photos allowed. The miners complied without visible protest. People later said the agents looked afraid, not afraid of the metal. They seemed scared of something else. Their eyes didn't scan for threats. They watched the air instead. One miner swore an agent whispered to him, "You didn't hear the second tone, did you?" That line moved fast through the camp. It changed simple habits overnight. Conversations got quiet and very clipped. Men stopped joking at lunch. Radios fell silent for long stretches. No one could explain the second tone, yet the miners listened for it anyway. Nights felt longer near the shaft. Men woke at odd hours, then waited. They checked doors and every light. One man said he dreamed the sound twice. He woke to a low, distant noise. It sounded like a machine breathing, slow. He couldn't tell if it was real. He kept quiet the next day. The agents left after 2 weeks. They took paperwork and the shard. They left more questions than answers. The miners were quieter after that.
Declassified maps showed a 1-200-meter anomaly. It sat under Denali like a buried shape. The outlines were nearly perfect squares. Scientists ran overlays on the imagery. The overlays hinted at inner chambers, lines aligned like deliberate corridors inside. Symmetry showed up in multiple passes. No normal geology makes those angles. Then the files disappeared from public access. They were reclassified within a few hours. No clear reason was released to people. Freedom of information hits dead ends. A few insiders told different stories. One analyst said the imagery became classified. Another warned me not to pursue it, yet the shapes remain on old scans. You can still spot straight lines under ice. Those lines don't look random at all. Lab teams found geometric echoes in archived data. Engineers modeled cavities and tested stability. A large void could hold under pressure. But the square pattern is the puzzle. Squares under a mountain are very rare. So people ask the obvious question: Ancient builders hidden beneath the ice, or modern structures buried and covered later? Either answer would rewrite part of history. For now, the file sits in locked vaults. The public sees only fog and contour lines. Someone moved fast to make it disappear. That action deserves real answers, not silence. An entire Yupik village goes silent. People stop speaking more than usual. Elders record it that year. They say the animals are gone. Moose, foxes, and tiny birds are simply gone. Birds stop singing at dawn. Even the river sounds different. Dogs refuse to step outside. Families leave their yards open. At night, a sound begins to rise. It is a hum from the mountains. They hear it every night for 2 weeks. People try to sleep through it. The hum moves like a thing breathing. Elders say it feels alive. It is low and steady. Windows tremble slightly each time. Children wake drawing the same picture. A hill with a black line crosses it. People stop naming the nights. They start calling them the Quiet. Some men climb toward the mountain. They find no tracks at the ridge. Only a faint buzzing lives in the rocks. A hunter puts his hand on the stone. He says his skin prickles like pins. He leaves and will not return. Women make fires and sing. Sometimes the hum answers back. They try drums and old prayers. For a while the sound dims. Then it grows stronger again. People stop leaving after dusk. Even the boat wakes are empty. Some blame new storms or machines, but no pipes cross those mountains. Later the elders mark the days. They tell the younger ones to remember.
He died 2 months later. It started with a late-night radio interview. The interview aired in 2000 and then he spoke from a hidden phone line. He said he was a retired engineer. His work had been with a military contractor. He asked to stay anonymous. His voice sounded small over static. He said the government wasn't excavating the pyramid. They were trying to turn it off. He called the structure a machine. It had activated by itself twice. Both times after 1992, he said. He offered technical details he refused to publish. He worried the mechanism could restart. No one believed him at first. News outlets ignored the clip. Researchers called it conspiracy talk. He kept trying to warn people. He named dates and technical signatures. Those details matched public sensor logs. Still, the story faded fast. 2 months after the interview, he died. His death was listed as natural causes. Colleagues said he hadn't been sick. Some recorded evidence went missing afterward. That silence left more questions than answers. People still argue about his claims. Was the pyramid a machine or myth? Did they really try to switch it off? No proof proved one way or the other. All we have is the tape and a voice that stopped speaking.
It lasted exactly 16 minutes and nothing else. In 2013, infrasound microphones picked up the signal. The sound sat below normal human hearing range. Frequency was so low, most sensors read flat. It did not match any known natural source. It was not tectonic, volcanic, or wind. Engineers ran checks for every possible machine. No power station activity matched the timing. No known industrial schedule explained it. The vibration had a steady, mechanical rhythm. It rose and fell with precise intervals. Microphones across different regions heard the same pulse. No single source sat at the center. If it were a machine, it was distant. People near detection sites reported nothing unusual. Scientists called it an anomaly to study. They dug into archives and sensor logs. Frequency bands repeated like gears clicking together. Still, no matching machine was found anywhere. Years later, the data remains in archives. We still have the recording if you want. Play it very low, and you might feel it. The room vibrates and the windows hum slightly. No one can say what made it. All we know is instruments recorded something real, and for 16 minutes the planet listened. One hiker found a photo that changed everything. He was near Denali on a clear day. He stopped to take pictures of a lava outcrop. Later, he noticed 3 triangular carvings in the obsidian. The shapes looked basic and deliberate. It was a triangle with 3 inner lines. He sent the image to a local museum. Researchers blinked when they compared it to records. Similar petroglyphs exist in Neolithic Siberia. Identical marks sit on ruins in China. There are 3 symbols across distant sites, and they share exactly the same shape. No one expected a match this precise. The carving style matched no local tradition. Obsidian is brittle and rare here. The cuts looked deliberate and ancient. Labs dated nearby charcoal to several thousand years. The pattern raises hard questions. Did people carry the symbol across oceans, or did separate groups invent the same mark? Some say a shared ritual explains it. Others think long-forgotten contact did the work. A few warn about modern hoaxes and contamination. For now, the symbol sits on 3 maps. It keeps pulling small clues together. Every new test changes the story again. Digging continues at all 3 locations now. Every find could rewrite how we moved and met.
42 seconds knocked out every nearby signal. It happened near Denali in 2018. Phones died mid-call and never finished sending. Car radios flooded with endless static. Emergency channels went dead for almost a minute. Pilots circled while controllers tried every workaround. Flights rerouted away from that blank zone. Seismographs showed 1 clean pulse during the blackout. The pulse matched the shard's recorded frequency. Engineers scanned systems for interference and found nothing. Military analysts flagged the event as unexplained. Local ham operators reported repeating tones later that night. Journalists dug through maintenance logs and found no answers. The only anomaly was a matching spike on charts. If whoever sent it expected a reply, we never gave one. People joked about aliens at bars that weekend. Pilots filed terse notes to their headquarters. Scientists argued through the night over pattern causes. Radio logs kept a small empty gap where the pulse lived. Towers rebooted and firmware checks came back clean. Phones returned after exactly 42 seconds. People exhaled and returned to their screens. But logs still showed the shard's imprint. No hardware. Failure explained the pattern. No test exercise matched the timing. Authorities gave vague statements and moved on. A pilot later said he felt watched during the silence. Amateur recordings captured a low, regular hum afterward. People started double-checking battery levels for months. The blackout left a tiny bruise on our maps.
90 minutes after their post, everything vanished. 2 hikers were out in late winter. A snowbank had collapsed near a trail. Beneath the snow was a smooth black wall. It looked metallic and strangely curved. They took a photo and posted it online. 90 minutes later, the post was gone. Their account no longer existed. Both phones dropped off the network. They tried calling, but no rings came back. A low hum followed them through trees. It was neither wind nor animal, just a tone. It sat behind their steps like static. They felt it more inside than outside. No other hikers were nearby to confirm it. When they left, the snowdrift was smooth. No footprints led back to the wall. Later, their deleted post could not be recovered. Friends who saw the photo remember the hum. The hikers will not go near that trail. They still say the hum follows them sometimes. There was no signal, no post, only the low sound. Nobody can explain why the wall disappeared. All we have are a photo and a hum. They locked their photos away, offline copies only. The cops checked every angle, found blank frames. An expert said it could be interference. The hikers stopped sharing locations online. Hundreds of ravens showed up overnight. Local wildlife researchers called it eerie. They arrived near the anomaly site every day. Ravens are sensitive to electromagnetic fields, but this energy behaved differently than normal. The field pulsed in steady, repeating beats. The pulses felt like a distant heartbeat. The birds circled in perfect geometric patterns. They moved with uncanny, machine-like precision. Compasses spun while instruments glitched and died. Audio recorders captured low-frequency thumps. The pattern repeated every 30 to 40 seconds. Researchers logged coordinates and timestamps obsessively. The ravens returned at precise, repeating intervals. They formed rings, wedges, and lattice-like clusters. A biologist described bird movements as choreographed. Nearby mammals avoided the area altogether. Even wolves skirted the outer edges. Some smaller birds became disoriented and crashed. Electromagnetic meters spiked during each circling event. The spikes matched the bird's flight tempo. A raven tapped the research van's metal. The team replayed the recording in silence. No human voice could explain the timing. By then, equipment readings had become part of the story. The phenomenon wasn't random animal attraction anymore. It felt like something was organizing them. Researchers stopped calling it bird behavior alone. They started calling it the raven effect. No one knew what pulsed beneath the ground, but everyone felt the rhythm in their bones.
Officials said it was for glacial monitoring. In 2022, the U.S. military expanded a restricted zone around Denali. They installed underground vibration sensors. But the sensors were positioned nowhere near glaciers. They pointed directly toward the pyramid. Maps later confirmed the exact bearing. Locals saw access roads appear overnight. Helicopters flew in with crates and markers. No scientific team was ever announced. Officials refused detailed questions from reporters. Press releases kept repeating the same phrase. Engineers who saw the layout asked why. Sensor data streamed to a secure facility. Small tremors registered without any visible cause. Technicians logged activity and moved on. Contractors signed non-disclosure agreements quickly. The town received vague safety notices. Parks officials posted a bland advisory. Scientists pushed for transparency and got redacted reports. FOIA requests returned heavily censored files. Rumors spread fast through the valley. Theories ranged from seismic study to secrets, but the core fact stayed simple and clear. They installed sensors aimed at the pyramid. Whatever the mission, it wasn't glacial monitoring. Satellite photos later showed trench lines leading there. Engineers privately speculated about directed sensors and arrays. Local guides refused to talk on record. A few whistleblowers hinted at military testing. Every official line circled back to glacial monitoring. The government never explained the true target, and that silence matters more than the answer. They sped the tones up 400 times. At first it sounded like noise. Then a pattern emerged across the waveform. Acoustic experts called it impossible. The 1992 tone matched the 2018 tone. Together they formed a repeating sequence. The sequence showed no signs of randomness. It behaved like code someone had written. Mathematicians ran statistical tests immediately. Cryptographers treated it like a cipher. Patterns matched prime intervals and repeating blocks. Pauses fell in places that felt deliberate. Harmonics acted like punctuation marks. Frequency shifts looked like deliberate timing changes. Some lines mapped to binary on a spectrogram. Others formed nested loops you could unpack. One team translated parts into short phrases. They sounded like coordinates and technical terms. No transmitter was found at the source. Marine records showed no matching sonar pings. No satellite logged a similar burst either. That absence made the message stranger. People asked if it was an experiment or a warning from something else. The most unsettling line is simple. It repeats with perfect timing every cycle. It shows no error, drift, or decay. That level of stability is uncommon in nature. Experts keep playing the file on loop every time someone hopes for an answer. But answers are still slow to come. The tones are a puzzle with a sender unknown. No one knows who sent it, and that is why it won't stop being discussed. The code gave us 3 words. We ran it through several math models. All approaches returned the same phrase. It read, "The grid is incomplete." That sentence flipped our priorities overnight. What grid could it mean? What ancient structure links to Alaska? If the pyramid is one node, then how many other nodes exist underground? We fed the phrase into spectral analysis. The math pointed to primes and waveforms. Grid geometry repeated across different datasets. That pattern suggests design, not accident. Maybe it was a network of stations. Maybe it routed energy, information, or both. We checked maps, faults, and magnetics. Some positions matched magnetic anomalies. Others sat on blank survey data. The phrase read like a status report. Incomplete implies damage or missing parts. It implies urgency and unfinished work. We ran field scans at the nearest node. Instruments found repeating spikes in depth. The spikes matched the decoded prime pattern. A faint structure showed under thin ice. The snow around it felt oddly compacted. We sent probes and listened for responses. The return signal repeated the same code. That confirmed the grid's reality for the team. It also confirmed incompleteness, just like the message. Now we face risk and discovery together. We boarded a plane with silent instruments. We carry that phrase in our heads, and we will look for the next node.
The mountain has been humming for 30 nights. Sensors logged pulses we couldn't explain. They come at irregular intervals like a heartbeat. The readings climb, then they drop. The black metal below Denali is still active. People call it a pyramid now, but that name is useless here. It wasn't built by us. It also wasn't abandoned either. There's a pattern in the noise. The pattern repeats every 11 minutes. The data shows modulation, deliberate timing. It suggests a system, not geology. We drilled, we listened, we found metal. The metal wasn't natural rock. It responded when we probed it. The probes registered a clean echo. The echo was not random at all. It matched the pulses above. Someone designed that match for a reason. The hidden archives have entries on similar structures. Their notes are short. They warn. Some structures weren't built to be found, they say. That line isn't poetic. It's practical. It means the builders expected secrecy, and they prepared for discovery. So what are we waking up? Or what is waking with us? We should slow our approach now. We should stay and listen much longer. Every probe could be another trigger. Every reading could be a countdown. We are not alone in this steel, and the mountain still hums.